This morning is time to start with the angled mortises in the cross stretcher. It's going to be kind of interesting and different for me. I haven't done this kind of a 45-degree precise angled stuff before, so here we go. So in order to do this, I've got a piece clamped on that's one of the ends. Actually, it's my crossbar. To give me a guide for my chisel, I have marked here where I'm going to be using the beveled angle edge. This one, on this side of the mortise, we're going to go straight down so that we can put things together straight from the side. The drawing has kind of it leaves a point on it, but I don't see how it's going to go all together with the cross beam. And so to facilitate that, I'm going to just chop off a little bit of the point. It's going to be draw board anyway, and that'll hold everything really nice and tight. That's just to mark where this angle comes in so that I don't go too far back. Right now I'm going to cut square down in on both sides here, then I'll come back and get this angle. And my depth, I need to mark that over here. It's just to the point here. So when this point is buried, I know I've got my depth. I want just a little bit farther because of the pegging drawboard. Gives me a nice clean side to my mortise in here, this back edge. Just a little piece there yet. Depth is good. And that depth looks good. And here's my cleaned out mortise. I think that using the block here has really helped me keep this, especially since I don't have a chisel that's as wide as my mortise, it's really helped me keep it back smooth wall. This front wall, it's not as easy to keep straight with a triple shot across it. It's not bad, but I think I'm gonna go to
using a block on that. This is the finished pair of mortises on the main stretcher where the Y-tenons come in.
So here are the Y-piece ends. I've got them kind of preliminarily marked out. I do need to square everything up yet, and those will go into these angled end mortises. I haven't really planed this completely down on the sides, allowing for it to get dinged up while we do the joinery. So they're square and flat, but not planed to final finish. It's Sunday. It's kind of strange being in a place where Amazon does actually deliver on Sunday, and I got a pull saw, a nice Japanese pull saw, because I needed to be able to cut the tenons a little bit better. The other saw that we had was this, and this is just a crosscut saw and pretty cheap, kind of short, flexible. I could cut them with it, but I'd much rather have the proper saw to be able to cut my tenons. So looking forward to checking out this new Japanese pull saw. It's a Suizan. Yeah, and now I can keep working. I'm gonna be just touching the inside edge of that block, tighten it down, match it with the front. My front is a little bit in from that, but the back edge is here. So that means that this back edge, with this setting on here for the top, will come to right here. Okay, so we've cut the shoulders off of one tenon using a 45-degree jig that we put on the saw that puts it 45-degree angle, so we've got this bottom shoulder kind of cut off. And then we set up a second block here at the opposite 45. Okay, we've got the tenons cut. This one's cut and fit to the piece, and I'm cutting off the 45-degree angles. Since I don't have a bench vise, I'm using the end of the table saw fence here that slides in and out and clamping to the end of it so that I can cut my workpiece straight up. So that's my clamping device. I'll cut that with a handsaw. Okay, so that's away, and that's a pretty good shoulder. That's fine, and it should fit into our mortise pretty good. To get the tenon to line up correctly in this pocket, the first thing I'm going to do is find the back side of this mortise and mark it on the top, and that comes to right there. I also need to know where the front of this mortise is, just right there. So that's where I need the tenon cut off to be able to slide it in straight from the side. I'll then take my square, line it up with the side with the back of the mortise, and the part that's going to join in is this back corner here. So I want that lined up just a hair outside of it, almost exactly right on the point. Now I can transfer with this piece tightly against the front block, making sure that's right again. I can transfer this mark, which is the front of my mortise, to the front of my block. And that came in right there. Now I can draw that line down and figure out where that comes in here. So now I've marked all my faces where I'm going to be cutting this, and I'll cut out this little block. And by setting this in the mortise, I can line up the sides and see that I have a good match, good fit. I can tell which side needs any shaving off, if at all. Right now I've been taking off a little bit on the bottom. Got a nice snug fit there, and I can do the same thing on the back side. It's actually really good. Perfect. Nice fit, just the way it is. It lines up perfectly. That's what you want to see.
Part 3 will have more hayrake joinery. Subscribe and ring the bell.